Really? Yeah.
I mean, they were a defense contractor, right?
Yeah, sure.
And so I kept working with military people.
Mm-hmm.
And so it really wasn't that bad. The only thing I saw different was the structure, the command structure was not there like the military.
Uh-huh.
Everybody was a little bit more low-key. You know, there weren't any yes sirs and no sirs. And
right.
Saluting and all the military courtesy and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But these people, of which I'm one now as a contractor, were just as devoted as military people. Okay? Mm-hmm. They have a job to do to develop a system that's going to help protect some soldier or airman's life. Okay?
Sure.
And they're very serious about it, right? You know, so it wasn't too much of a transition, except for the military courtesy stuff. And
sure.
I did have a hard time getting adjusted to what to wear.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
You know, in the military, you wear a costume.
A costume.
A uniform.
Yeah.
You wear a uniform every day, right?
Sure.
And when you go civilian, you know, it's pretty much, you know, it was really laid back in Tucson.
Sure.
I could go to work in T-shirts and a T-shirt if I wanted to. Okay?
Wow. No kidding.
But I didn't, you know, slacks and shirt, stuff like that. And,
but all of that was attributed. I mean, you are where you are today because of your military career. I mean, going to work for Raytheon. Yeah, I mean, it would have been very hard probably to get the position with Raytheon without your military experience, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, I think that's why they held the position, because they already knew they had someone that was trained as a customer.
Sure.
And knew what the customer wanted, and familiar with all the rules and regulations about acquiring systems.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, they knew they were getting a good deal.
And the Air Force prepared you very, very well, I guess, for civilian employment, for civilian life.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's the other aspect. If somebody's really thinking about it, even if you do 4 years in the military, when you go talk to an employer, as long as you've had an honorable service, mm-hmm. an honorable discharge, they're going to look at that, and that's going to make you different from everybody else. Okay?
Sure.
They're going to say, "Hey, man, you were a sergeant, or you were a lieutenant, and you were in charge of so many people. You know already how to manage people and how to manage resources. That puts you, a little bit above the other guys."
Mm-hmm. Sure. And you're
that competitive edge.
Exactly. And now you still come home here to Freer at least once a year, I guess. What is it like, Alfredo, when you come back home to Freer? What's it like when you look around?
Okay. Well, yeah, I come home because that's where my roots are. That's
mm-hmm.
where my family's at.
I mean, home is home, right? Yeah.
Is within 90 miles of my hometown, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All my brothers, sisters. I'm the only one that's really moved away, sprouted wings.
Mm-hmm.
But when I go home, it's still home.
Yeah.
A lot of the familiar landmarks of when I was growing up are still there. Some of them are getting kind of dilapidated in condition and stuff like that. But Freer is a town that changes very slowly. And it's fun to go home. And one of the things I do when I go home is I always reserve a day for just kind of driving around town and going to places where I used to go when I was little, looking at locations, taking pictures again and stuff like that. And just bringing back old memories, because I had a lot of good times in Freer, Texas. I really did.
Sure. And you always, I guess, end up going back to Los Angeles, because Los Angeles is now home to you too, I guess, huh?
And Los Angeles is home. Yeah. I had two Air Force tours here, a total of 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a lot of places in the Air Force, but I decided LA was the place, primarily because of family. My daughter, my son, my other daughter, grandchildren. This is where I have my own immediate family, and
sure. I
figured this was the place for me. And also it's customary to my lifestyle. Okay.
Sure.
Not everybody could live in Los Angeles. You have to have a certain type of
personality. Yeah,
personality, right? And everything's here that I like to do: running, mm-hmm. cosplaying, astronomy, the mountains, the beach. Everything's within my fingertips. Okay?
Exactly.
And I'm never bored. never bored.
Exactly. And, and we're sitting here talking to my friend Alfredo Garcia Jr. and from Freer, Texas. He now lives out in the Los Angeles area, and he's had a storied career, meeting General Chuck Yeager, handling nuclear weapons, working with Raytheon now. and really encourages these kids out there who are really thinking on what to do with their life. Alfredo, I'll give you the last word here real quick. What would you like to say if you could say one thing to that kid out there right now who's contemplating it? I'll give you the last word. Go.
Very simple. Just do it.
Just do it.
Can't get any simpler than that.
Yeah,
just do it.
Just
make
do
the decision. Make that decision. That's make that decision. Once you've made that decision, 4 years from now, if you say, hey, this wasn't the right decision, get out. But I guarantee you, if you make that decision, you'll become a better person afterwards. You really, really will. Absolutely.
Well, Alfredo, I know you got a event you got to get to here tonight, and that over in Hollywood, right? Sure. You got to head over to Hollywood, right?
Yeah, we're going over. Actually, it's pretty cool. It's a cosplay event. Actually, it's been in the plannings for some time. I bought my tickets months ago. What they do is downtown Hollywood, in one of the buildings there, they're going to have what's called a pop-up where they bring in a particular store or bar or scene from a movie, and they'll let you go there, and you can interact with other people and stuff like that. Well, this one happens to be Star Wars.
Oh, wow.
And it's called the Scum and Villainy Cantina. And if you watch the very first Star Wars, remember when they walk into that bar and there's all those aliens and stuff, and they're going to have a lot of people in costume there like that. They're going to have the whole thing set up like that movie. And you get to go in there and interact and have a drink and socialize and dance, and that's what we're going to go do.
Really? Interesting.
And we're going as Jedi, by the way.
You're going as what now, Jedi?
I'm standing here in a Jedi costume.
I think this is the first... This is the
lightsaber strapped to my side.
Oh no! I bet you this is the first interview I've ever done talking to somebody who's dressed as a Jedi. So
yeah,
interesting.
Master Jedi.
Interesting. Well, Alfredo, I really. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. And my lady's dressed in a very nice dress that's Jedi themed.
Oh wow!
And she'll also be bearing a lightsaber.
Well, I will. I'll definitely be watching Facebook. I'll definitely be watching Facebook for some photos. Absolutely. Well, Alfredo, I really appreciate you joining us here tonight and giving us your insight on this. And thank you so much for that. And I hope if there's somebody out there listening who is contemplating a career in the military, they'll take your advice to just do it. It's worked out very well for you. Yeah. Well, I appreciate your time, Alfredo. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy your cosplay tonight, all right?
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate the time, and so long from California.
All right, so long. Take care, bud. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
And that was Alfredo Garcia, Jr. What a fascinating interview. He's also an amateur astronomer, which we didn't have too much time to get into that. I really had to let him go there so he could get to his other event, but... he is an amateur astronomer. He found, and I hope I get the story right, but he found a pair of binoculars when he was 9 years old, put them together as best as a 9-year-old could, and it led to a lifelong career, fascination with astronomy, which I'll bet you probably led to his love of physics. How much you want to bet? We're going to have him back on here sometime and ask him about that. So anyway, I am Matt Briscoe. I am the managing editor of the Hill Country Tribune. Tell all your friends about us. We're a free nonprofit local media source where we focus on the interesting, enlightening, and just outright culture of Texas, and specifically the Texas Hill Country. So join us. We tell your friends about us. Absolutely. You can find us on Facebook, Hill Country Trib, Twitter at Hill Country Trib as well. We look forward to it again. What a fascinating interview with Alfredo Garcia, Jr. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to it again, and we will talk to you very, very soon. I'm Matt Briscoe.